Hey, book friends, it's Caitlin and Tishka here, and today we're talking about Sister Snake by Amanda Lee Koe. This book was absolutely incredible, 5 stars, and I'm just so happy because, like, every book I've read so far this year has been really great, but I really feel like this book is going to end up being one of my favorite books of the year. It really just blew me away, and it has like all of my favorite genres kind of combined, which is why I think I liked it so much because if you watch my videos, you know that I really like kind of like scary, dark stories, thrillers, horror, but I also really like juicy lit fic, and this is like a beautiful combination of all of that. But it also is like inspired by some ancient Chinese legends. It's based off the legend of the white snake and also the author's like favorite childhood movie, Green Snake from 1993. And it's based off this story, which is like these two ancient snakes from the Tang Dynasty. One of them, the white snake, falls in love with a man. It's like forbidden love. And so the two sisters decide to like take human form, but they kind of like struggle to get by in society. And that's like a what this book is about, but like it's contemporary. Also, there are no spoilers here, but I'm just going to give like a run through of the plot and the characters without giving too much away. So, Sister Snake takes place like 1,000 years after their transformation into like human beings, and it's set in both New York and Singapore because the sisters live in like two different places. They can go decades without seeing each other because they always like butt heads because they are polar opposites, like seriously, completely different. But it's all about like chosen family. Like they still love each other and they're bound by this ancient secret that they are like snake women. Something that I loved in this book were all of the flashbacks to like shenanigans in the past over the centuries, with like foiled romances and like near death experiences, like nearly getting burned at the stake in medieval times, or like being concubines for Victorian lords, just like really funny things like that. And actually, the titles are really good for the chapters. Let me read some of my favorites. Listen to this. His erections are as lackluster as his poems. Or a self possessed woman can turn your world to dust. You can just like feel the vibe of this book. Like it's the writing is just so like witty and fun. I absolutely loved it. Let's talk a little bit about the two sisters, Emerald and Sue. Emerald is the green snake, and Sue is the white snake. Do you like how we dressed up for that? Anyway, so Emerald is seriously iconic. She is like this sexy, chaotic, bisexual. She does whatever she wants. She doesn't care about conforming. And she's used like her attractiveness and her wits to like get through over the centuries, but now it's getting really hard and she like can't find a way to make money, so she's been using like sugar daddies. And anyway, I'll get back to that in a second, but her sister Sue is like polar opposite to her. She's like very tightly wound, very responsible. She likes order and she likes being like submissive to like conservative men. It's kind of weird. So she's currently married to this like conservative politician in Singapore. She never acts out on her like snake tendencies, unlike Emerald, who kind of like lets it all slither out. Anyway, so Sue never acts like a snake. She's very careful about feeding. This part kind of gave me like Twilight vampire vibes. So the snakes, like, if they want to, they can get their fangs and venom out and everything and like kill people. But what they do is like they feed off of people's chi, the life force. They can like suck it out of people, but just a little bit won't kill them. But if you suck all of someone's chi, like then they will die. Let's talk about the plot a little bit. Obviously, no spoilers. So basically, they haven't seen each other in decades. Emerald gets into some trouble one night in Central Park, and Sue ends up finding out about it. And she flies from Singapore to kind of like rescue her sister. She convinces her to come back to Singapore with her to her and her husband's home. And as you can kind of guess, as always, like they start butting heads and things really start to build up when they kind of do some like unforgivable stuff to each other. This is like the catalyst for like this big explosion.
Try being my size, Amy. You don't know how it is.
You need to register it in your damn head. It's every time you want to be
Fine.
babied.
Then I ain't baby. You're a baby.
There's like a side romantic plot, but this is not like the main like focus of the book. Huh. Okay, where are we going? Ooh. Okay, Tishka, is there something you want to say to my subscribers?
Snake. I'm a snake. I'm a snake. I'm a snake. I'm a slithery little sneaky snake. I'm so slithery and sneaky because I'm a snake.
Such an interesting story. Like, things just explode all over Singapore. And since the author is from Singapore, like, you really feel like you're getting an authentic look of like what this country is like. And now I really want to go there and like visit all the different places that are talked about in the book. I really feel like I just learned a lot reading this, and I love when books like teach me something but are also entertaining. Because to be honest with you, before this book, my knowledge of like Singapore was kind of like what I had gleaned from Crazy Rich Asians. So I feel like I just got to know more about like the mindset of people there and like how people really feel like they need to conform, and like the struggling groups of like society from like the ultra rich. I didn't know like politicians there, like some of them can make like 3 times what US presidents can make. And then there's like people on the opposite side who are like sex workers from Thailand who really struggle to get by. And there's just so many different types of people there, and the author shows a lot of these like queer stories going on and just the struggles of like queer people in Singapore, and I really liked reading about that. I thought it was super interesting. I'm going to read some of my favorite passages, and I'm going to try not to cry or laugh too hard during the funny ones. Okay, composing myself. I love you enough to swallow an ocean, to shoot down the sun. I love you in any and every form, be it corporal or even immaterial. Love you in every direction of time and space. A snake can shed its skin 100 times, but it will always remain a snake. To be sisters with you in one lifetime is not enough. The gynecologist's teeth were white, but his breath is rancid. He breathes all over Sue while she adjusts herself on the examination bed. His chi reeks of cruciferous vegetables, an unholy trinity of stale cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower. He is middle-aged with a T-Rex posture, large head poking out of his shirt, skinny forearms hanging off his elbows. That made me laugh so hard when I read it. I love the descriptions of what people's chi like tastes like. Listen to this. She took her revenge by stealing his chi, which tasted of damp cows. Like sometimes people could be really attractive, but their chi is like disgusting. When she looks at him, there is a dark, compelling depth in her eyes that suggests she knows 1 or 2 secrets about him that he doesn't yet know about himself. I'd love to hear what other people thought of this book if you read it, or maybe it's going to be on your TBR now. Thanks for watching this video, and stick around because I have lots of reviews coming. I've been like dipping my toe into like the romantasy kind of genre. It's been very interesting, and I'm definitely going to be sharing some of these reviews soon. So stick around, and we'll see you next time. Bye!